Around 700,000. About 1,000 horsepower.
So we got about 1,000 horsepower.
Fill it about 90 gallons. It was about 15 seconds. Transmission is paddle shifted. There's the paddles here.
What's up, guys? It's Fish from Fishgistics here. Today we are coming to you guys from Mason Motorsports for a look at the new Andy McMillan all-wheel drive trophy truck. A little something special for you here on the latest version of the Burrow builds. This is Robert from Mason Motorsports here. He's going to give us a little tour of the truck today. This will be his first race. It's got about 800 test miles on it so far. So let's see. Maybe we can have these guys pull the hood off. And then we can take a look underneath it, show you guys some of the all-wheel drive parts that are unique to this build here. Let's start in the front up here. Let's go check out the front. Looking at the front, you can see this is the light setup for this race. Don't really need any lights this race, hopefully. The winner won't, at least. So they do have some rigid industry lights here. And there's a lot of stuff going on up front here. The main thing that's different about this one, as you guys know, is this right here, the all-wheel drive. So what do we have, Robert? What is how does this all-wheel drive work?
So it's a mid-engine configuration with a big block Chevy from dougansracingengines, coupled to a X-Track 5-speed sequential paddle shifted transmission. We designed our own front diff transfer case unit. It's all one unit, and then we have portal uprights that we had designed.
I'll give you guys a look at those. If you guys don't know what portals are, he can give us a little explanation.
So the portal uprights have a few different things that they do. For one, it offsets the CV joint up so that your lower arm stays at spindle center line and you can get more wheel travel. It also has reduction in the upright with gears, and by doing that, you take load off the CVs and axles, and you can run a stronger ring and pinion in the front diff.
Right on. So that's your guys' own custom front diff that's in there too, right? You guys built that in-house?
Yeah. So we designed that in-house along with the portal uprights.
Right on. So these are all billet, obviously, as you can see.
Yep.
Cool. So the biggest difference, like you said, you get more ground clearance, and the lower arm stays at a better angle. Some of the other all-wheel drives out there don't have. Then if we come up top here, actually somebody was asking, so what is the little black box underneath the...
So the black box is, this truck has tire pressure monitoring. So it is one of the antennas for the tire pressure monitoring system.
So just like in a lot of your street cars nowadays, it tells you when you have a low tire. They have these on. They have that on the trucks nowadays. So when you're in the car, if you think you have a tire going down, it'll tell you, so you can change it in the pit when you're coming in, so you can save a little bit of time. So it's actually a pretty cool system. I know a lot of the new trucks have them nowadays. So it's pretty cool to see it being used in off-road. What do we have for shocks on here? So we got Foxes.
All Fox. It runs a 3.0 coil front and rear, and a 4.0 bypass in the front with the 4.4 in the back.
Nice. Right on. We've got some air bumps added in here. You can see the upper arm is all billet also, looks like. All right, then you got the antennas under the hood here. Pretty clean across the top there.
The front light bars all on an actuator. We just finished that up for them.
Yeah, you can see some actuators on here. They're not on for this race, the light bar, but they will be on there for the 1,000. How many lights did you say this thing's gonna have for the 1,000?
I believe it's about 42.
About 42 lights on this truck for the Baja 1000. So I think they will. I think they'll be able to see where they're going pretty good. What do we got up here? What are these little things right here?
So that is the brake reservoirs, and just the caps to be able to fill the reservoirs.
Those caps aren't going to fall off, it doesn't look like. No. Better than a little rubber cap like the old days. And then over there we have the dry sump tank, you assume, for the oil?
Yep, engine oil.
Engine oil on that side. All right.
And then in the center console, that's for the converter tank. It uses transmission fluid for the converter side of it, and then it has for the gearbox, it uses normal gear oil. So they're two separate systems.
Right on. Somebody's asking, how do you roll carbon fiber? As you guys can see, this is all real carbon fiber. You know how they roll that?
There's a mold that's made, and then they lay it into the mold.
There you go. So it's all molded out. You see, it's all real carbon. The whole truck is carbon every panel, I believe, right?
It has carbon roof panels, carbon skid plates, carbon Kevlar skid plates, all carbon paneling, carbon fuel cell can.
Nice. All right. So what do the buttons do this? How does this transmission work?
So the transmission is paddle shifted. There's the paddles here on the steering wheel. It uses an air pump and a pneumatic actuator to shift it, and it's all controlled through the Motec system.
Right on. It looks like you guys added a little fun handle here.
Yep, he just put in a handbrake.
Little cutting brake, turning brake. Cool. And then what is the, looks like it has a Safecraft fire system in it.
Yep.
Somebody's asking, do you know how big it is? Or what size roll?
That is
Probably one of the bigger ones they have, huh?
Yeah.
Right on. And then it looks like we have the Cobra seats here, impact belts. Got Hostile door bags. Hostile Dan, he makes some of the nicest door bags. I like that he even puts the impact picture on it so you know where the impact is in the bag. That's pretty cool. And then up top here, this is what a lot of the guys are running these now. What are these things here? What's this carbon fiber box?
It's an air conditioning system to run cool air through your helmet,
So
rather than just a standard pumper that blows ambient temperature.
So we got AC in the trucks now. That makes a big difference, especially in the longer races when you can keep your head cool. That's always a plus. You can see moving down here, moving to the back. So what do we have here? What are these fin reservoirs here?
So these are shock coolers for the Fox bypasses. It runs through a tube, one of the bypass tubes, so it's constantly pumping fluid through the cooler.
Right on. Then they have the exhaust coming straight out here. It's not the fuel filler. You don't want to put the fuel in there. That would be bad. Then on the back, you've got fans. Those radiator fans, or what do we got?
Yep, that's the radiator and an oil cooler. It's divided. The bottom part of it is for oil, and then the top part's for coolant.
Perfect. Then we have more carbon fiber back here. Looks like carbon fiber fuel cell. All carbon. Now this is something new here. What's this? What's on the fuel fillers here? What are these things?
So they just added these. It's just to keep dirt out of here, so when you stab it, you don't cut a seal or anything.
That's pretty cool. That's a new, brand new product here. It looks like I've never seen that before. It keeps them clean. It sucks in there and keeps all the dirt out. Pretty good idea. And then it's got it on both sides. So do you guys fill the truck from both sides at the same time, or do you just need one, or how's that work?
You can fill it. Some teams have filled it from both sides at the same time. I believe to fill it about 90 gallons, it was about 15 seconds.
15 seconds for 90 gallons. That's pretty fast there. It's a little faster than your pump at the gas station. So then on the back up top here, it looks like, is that the fuel pumps or fuel filters?
So the fuel pumps are flange mount into the tank, and then these are the fuel filters and check valves.
And over here we got the antenna. That's a regular radio antenna. And you have the MSAT up there on the roof. For those of you guys that don't know, the MSAT, a lot of people use it now. It's pretty much a radio that works wherever you are in the world. You can just talk on it during the middle of the race, and you can talk to somebody back in California or Nevada or wherever you are from the middle of Baja. So it's pretty cool. A lot of the teams have gone to that. Let's see if we can look under the back here and check out the trailing arms and such. So obviously, since it's a mid-engine and offset diff. So what do you do the offset diff for? To get it around the engine?
Yes, so the motor is mid-engine. It's turned around backwards from a normal front engine design. So the transmission would be in front, then up to the diff, and then from the diff T-case unit, it has to get around the engine to get to the back. So they offset the diff to the side to be able to get around the motor.
So it probably takes a little bit of getting used to. Instead of having the, usually in a truck, your drivetrain is straight down the middle and you want to put the rocks exactly where that diff is sitting. So once you drive one of these, you got to put the rocks back in the middle or on the right side, not the left side. So what kind of mileage does this get, fuel mileage?
They get, a truck like this gets about 2.2 to 2.3 miles to the gallon.
There you go, about 2 miles a gallon is what this truck is getting. All right, let's look and maybe we can see the trailing arms from up here on the side. These are pretty cool too. There we go. So what are the trailing arms made out of here? How are these designed?
So these, it's a billet designs, 70-75 aluminum. Behind these panels, it's all pocketed out to keep it light, and then the panels just keep dirt from getting in there and rocks and stuff like that.
Right on. So it's all one piece. Solid. You can see there's more of the skid plates he was talking about. And what are these flaps for?
Those flaps are to keep rocks from kicking off the front tires and roosting everything in the back. So it just
saves the drive line kind of and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. See those on some trucks. It sounds like a good idea. It helps save some stuff. You don't want to hit rocks. That's always a plus. Then over here on the passenger side, we got the same thing up on the roof, more AC. Another AC unit. Now these units are pretty pricey actually. That's why you don't see them in a lot of these trucks. What do these AC units cost?
They go for about $8,000 a piece.
$8,000 for an AC unit. So you're not going to see those in very many classes besides trophy trucks probably, but I think if you talk to any of the trophy truck guys, they'll tell you those things are pretty priceless. So then you got it's kind of hard at the sun here. You got the radio up top on this side, as you guys can see. The radio's over here, and then you got the intercom all up top. I like it, so it's easier to keep it dry. And then you have the GPS over here. This is an HDS 12. And then you got more switches here. What kind of switch system is this in here?
So this is all it's all keypads and PDM system from James Lynn Motorsports. They do all the wiring and electronics for it.
So James Lynn did this whole thing. Is this keypad the same thing as the other side?
Yes, it's the same type of keypad. It might have different functions for different buttons.
So you can actually start the truck for both sides, it looks like?
Yep.
That's cool. So if you have to get out for something or someone's out, you can start or stop the truck from either side. Then down there in the middle, it looks like that's mostly the light keypad. So how much if somebody wants to come buy one of these from you guys?
An all-wheel drive
approximately
ranges around 700,000.
All right, so around 700, depending on what options you guys have on here. And then what do your two-wheel drives go for? So what's the difference?
Two-wheel drives can range 500, maybe 550, somewhere around there.
All right, so it's about 200 more for another two wheels to drive. What's up with the steering on here?
So the steering is a steering box with swing set steering. To get above, or to get the steering shaft, it comes in above the diff to the steering box, and then it has the pitman arm that's dropped with the swing set and ram assist.
So it's a pretty complicated steering system you got going on here. That looks pretty cool. You got to get around the diff and everything, like you said, with the steering shaft. Let's look at the steering there for you guys. Let's see, what else you guys?
It doesn't carry a ton of spare parts, but belts, the tie rod, obviously.
Things that can be changed rather quickly, huh?
And just basic hand tools.
Cool.
You get into a situation.
Where do they keep the tools? Under the seats?
They have them all in the door bags.
In door bags. Cool. You can see there's a foot pedal down there. Door bags, that's the Motec. So this tells you pretty much everything that's going on in the truck at all times. I forget what James Lynn said. You remember how many sensors are on this thing?
I couldn't tell you.
It's some like ridiculous number, like hundreds of sensors on this thing. He told me before. I forget what the number was. It's a big block, you said?
It's Dugan's Racing Engines, 555 cubic inch, big block Chevy with 8-stack intake configuration.
Cool. Right on.
The drive shaft is actually on the driver's side between the fiberglass door and the carbon fiber panel.
So this one's hidden actually.
Yeah, it's on the back side of this.
Cool, so they do have a spare drive shaft that's under there. It's literally like 8 bolts usually, I think, to change it, so they can change those pretty fast. What's the top speed this has gone up to?
This truck has seen 149 miles per hour.
149 miles an hour. There you go.